final quarter of the Paddock the Goals. My name is Jo Postlethwaite and I'm the Manager of Community Recovery at the Bull Oak Shire Council. This quarter, our final quarter, we're hitting the open road and heading to Culgoa in the heart of the Mallee, as well as the open paddock. As you can see, it's quite beautiful this time of year in rural Victoria with the canola fields in full bloom. They are the perfect backdrop for a picture with friends and family, or even to paint a landscape. So why not go for a drive and experience the beauty of Bull Oak at this time of year? Now let me tell you, the Mallee name isn't just geography. It's a feeling that comes deep down in your bones. When you step out and see the red dirt covering darn near everything you hold sacred, you know you're in somewhere special. That red dust, well, it's just like the Mallee's way of giving us a warm hug. It seeps into every nook and cranny. And trust me, you can't shake it off. But why would you want to? That red soil just isn't dirt. It's a badge of honour, a symbol of community and belonging that is as real as a Sunday roast.
So let's get on the road and head to Culgoa. Our next guest is a well-known identity who helps to maintain the support network around Culgoa, and she has been managing the single-member police station in the town for nearly 7 years now, leading Senior Constable Antoinette Coobs. And he'd take us back to last year when you learned about the water on its way down the Tyrrell Creek to Culgoa.
Yeah, well, it was really interesting. I was in Alice Springs on holidays, and Alice Springs is as dry as chips. And my boyfriend lives here with me, and he rang me. He said, "I think you better come home." And I said, "What's going on?" And he said, "No, it's a bit wet." And he's a bit of a he doesn't get excited about things, but he said we're in a bit of trouble. And I said, "Oh." And ended up coming home from my holiday, cutting it short, and walked into a lot of water, and I was shocked. I'd never seen anything like it here before. I'd been part of the Kerrang floods in 2011, 2010. So I'm born and bred in Kerrang, which a lot of people already know. But I nearly didn't make it to my interview to become a police officer because I couldn't get out of the township because they'd locked us all in. And my interview was in the January of 2011, and thank goodness I got out. But this flood was totally different to 2011, in my opinion.
Culgoa isn't just a place where the sun shines bright and the red dust paints everything it touches. It's also a sanctuary of wisdom, especially when those skies open up and the floodwaters come a-rolling on in. It's thanks to the hardy souls of Culgoans. The average age for farming tipping in a little into the 50s, but there's a living library of knowledge and experience right there. They've seen the water rise and fall, and they know how to wrangle a crisis and come out of it even stronger.
I have full faith in the Culgoa community looking after themselves. They're very resilient. They're very calm. They're very capable. But as a one member, I felt a moral obligation to be here. Not that I would be taking over or taking control of anything, but just being present. That's a pretty serious event to be absent from. So they were cool, calm, collected, like they always are. And when I came home, I felt relief because I wanted to be here. Not to mention that I've got property here as well. I've got an invested interest with my boyfriend here, and we really are invested in the community. But it was amazing to see the water was moving so fast. I got home late afternoon and put some markers out, and it was incredibly fast how quick the water was going up, and it was getting closer and closer to our shed. And we didn't know what to expect, but the locals, they all just chip in. They're amazing how resilient they are, and there's telehandlers buzzing around and bobcats and offers of help, and but they weren't panicking, but that's just how they are.
Local knowledge is vital during these times, and I hear the Tyrrell Creek Bridge in the centre of the town became a bit of a central place for people to meet and observe the surrounds during the floods to get insights on what was happening.
We did meet on the bridge and had a little conversation. There might have been a few beers as well, but it was incredible to listen to the knowledge that these locals have, particularly the farmers. And they don't force their opinion on you, but they certainly have a sound knowledge of the areas. And they started discussing, traps or railway traps, and there's these things here and these things there that will be impacting the flow of the water underneath the railway line. And it was really interesting to listen to them. And my big boss came over, Inspector DeVries, and Roberta Barry, she was the senior sergeant at the time, and they were listening to these locals because they knew that they played a pivotal part in these floods. No one knows this land better than the locals, in my opinion. And I just found that the way that the Bull Oak Shire, Victoria Police and the locals, SES, worked together for these floods was a really nice thing to watch. The floods definitely impacted us, but it was only for a short time. These people know hard work. They know, 24 hours a day work on headers, and the floods impacted us for a short period of time. But we went to business as usual pretty quick after. We had our annual Christmas party at the Bowls Club. Sadly, our bowling club made the sad decision to fold, and we wanted to have a memorable Christmas party, so we had it at the old Bowls Club, and then we had another event, Christmas in July, just to utilise the beautiful space we had with the hall. And it's funny. These people know resilience. There's people that live in this town that have been through the 1950s flood that we had here, and then the 2011, and this is our third flood, which is bizarre because we keep getting told these are 1 in 100 events, and there's a few that have seen all three. So, but yeah, they just keep on trucking.
I'd also like to acknowledge the Victoria Police, the Bull Oak Cluster, who received a regional commendation for their combined efforts in providing such an important leadership and support during that time. Thank you and well done to all of the Bull Oak Cluster team. Thanks, Annie, for joining us today, and make sure you make a trip up to Bull Oak and enjoy the glorious surrounds of the colourful Cronulla.